ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
So we have seen the discussion of Kapila's instructions to Mother Devahuti. Elaborately, we have discussed, means basically, we have seen in a overview way the different teachings of Bhakti, Jnana, the, so, and then like he also spoke about in order to the how in material life people suffer. So that also he spoke. So after saying everything, he gave like want to give knowledge like that. So in this way, he concluded his teachings. So this is the final chapter of 33 of third canto, where Devahuti, hearing all the uh, descriptions, all the knowledge from Kapilidev, Devahuti was very much feeling enlightened. So she was like, it was mentioned that she was like kind of freed from ignorance from because she gained knowledge of bhakti, jnana, and yoga. So therefore, she started offering prayers to Kapila. So she said that she like the theme of her prayers is that like Brahmaji also takes birth from you, but how is it that you have taken birth from me? So that is like she is the mother, and she understood that Kapila is the supreme lord. So she was wondering how Supreme Lord has entered in her womb and taken birth. So that is why she is expressing her uh, astonishment. So she says that even Brahma, he he from your navel the lotus will come. On top of that, the Brahmaji was born, and he was like he he appeared and then he meditated on you, which are like lying beyond the material senses, who are like who is having all the spiritual body. It's not, your body is not made up of Maya, but it's like Maya in general. The bodies of material, like any all the beings, they are made from the indriya senses and the bhuta, like all the panchendriyas. But it's not about your body is beyond these material elements. So it is like it is composed of spiritual elements. Means your body is spiritual, so and it has all the good qualities, and it is a source of unlimited universes. So your body is not material, but it is real and it is Sachidananda. So like that, it is not affected by gunas. So such a person you are, and from you, Lord Brahma has taken birth. and uh, you are the person who create, maintain, and destroy this whole world by according to the gunas. By your three modes, this whole world will be created, maintained, and destroyed. So, but although you do all these activities, but you are without any material activities, and whatever you desire, they will always be fulfilled. So without any hindrance. And you are also the Lord of all jivas, and you possess all inconceivable energies. In this way, you carry out all the activities. So in this way, two shlokas, she praised the transcendental position of the Lord, and then he is saying that even such a Lord you are, where in your belly whole universes are resting, that lotus is coming and all the universes are forming. Such a Lord you are situated in my womb. So how is it possible? That like that she was wondering, and she was saying that actually you show this form of baby in another form, that is called as Vatapatra Shayi. So Vatapatra Shayi is a form where at the time of universal destruction, this form is shown to the Markandeya Rishi, where that one in a Vata leaf, means banyan tree leaf, Krishna was lying, and he was seen sucking his own toe. So, and Markandeya Rishi observed such a form of that form of baby that is there. So, like in such a form you show. So, at the time of destruction. So, how is it that you appeared in my womb? So, like that she was asking. So, this like Vatapatrashai form, this form, generally Lord is sucking his own toe. There are like some reason that was mentioned that generally all the devotees always glorify the lotus feet of the Lord, and they say your lotus feet has a lot of taste. So like that they always glorify. So Krishna is like kind of like if he want to taste his own lotus feet, he cannot taste. So therefore, but if a child she puts his toe in mouth, no one may can comment. Child will generally do. So in this way, take the form of child and keeping like that. Some people give commentaries. So in this way, Bhattapatra form she was remembering, and such a Lord, and such a Lord, you have appeared as a baby to me, and when you was born, you are depending upon my body as a baby. So, but uh, but you are supremely independent, and you appear in this world in various incarnations, like Varahadev and other incarnations, in order to destroy the sin of all those people, and also in order to make all people follow your instructions, and in that way they progress in their life, and also to teach the path of jnana and bhakti to yourself. In this way, you make this, that is the purpose of your appearance. So that is your by your mercy only you take avatara. So and just like other babies, they are dependent upon their mother. You also you entered my womb and you are depending upon my body, but that is like your pastime. So that pastime, that depending upon mother, that cannot be pointed out as a fault of the Lord, but actually it is an ornament for the Lord. That means he is depending upon his devotees. So in this way he has appeared, and the purpose of his avatar is to teach knowledge and also make his followers prosperous. So like that she says, and then finally she glorifies the holy name. These shlokas are very famous shlokas, two shlokas which glorify the holy name, which often quoted by our acharyas. Yannamadeya Shravananukirtana Yad brahvana yad smaranadapi kvachit स्वादोऽपि सद्य सवनाय कल्पते कुतः पुनस्ते भगवन्नुदर्शनात्. So he says Yan Namadeya. So like the Lord has the names. By chanting Yan Namadeya, by chanting Wo's name, by hearing or chanting, or by Shravana Anukirtana, by hearing and Anukirtana is chanting of the Lord. Yat Prahvana, by offering respects to the Lord. Yes, Smarana, by sometimes remembering the Lord. Apikpachit, sometimes remembering. Swadopi Sadhyaha. Swado means a person who eats dog. Swadopi. Sadhyaha. So even that person who is eating, he immediately becomes qualified for performing the sacrifice. Savanaya Kalpate. He can perform the sacrifice. Kutah punaste Bhagavan darshana. What then to speak of the person who sees you? So like that she says. That means seeing you is most, seeing you, the world becomes most fortunate. So in this way, she is mentioned even just by remembering his name, a person becomes eligible to perform sacrifice. What to speak of seeing you directly? So that is expressed through Kaimutyanaya. So like this means like a person who is a person who is born of the low birth, he will become eligible. So generally, there may be some objections that like a person is born low birth because of his prarabdha karma, means because of his previous sinful activities. So like how can he will be eligible to perform sacrifice? Because the bhakti immediately destroy even the prarabdha karma, sinful reactions experienced as the low birth and everything. So therefore, he becomes worshipable like a Brahmana and he can perform Soma sacrifice. So in this way, uh, like all the even bhakti has the potency to remove even the prarabdha karma. So that's how the greatness of bhakti is mentioned. So in this way, she glorifies the names and the devotional service. And then one more shloka she says. अहो बतस्व पचतो गरीयां यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यं ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुसस्नुरार्य ब्रह्मानुचूर्णां गृह्णन्ति ये ते. Ahobata, she is expressing her astonishing. Ahobata, this is most astonishing because previous sloka she mentioned that even a dog eater will become eligible to perform sacrifice. So this is like most astonishing. So, but that like it is not only uh, like only performing a sacrifice is only the it's not a such a great thing. Much more can be achieved by bhakti. That is most astonishing. She's saying. So ho bata swapachito gariyan. She's saying that if a person, an outcast, swapacha means dog eater, so he's on his step, on his uh, tongue. If your name appears, then that person becomes the guru. Aho bata swapachato gariyan. He is like uh, gariyan means more greater than like that. Yat jigvagre vattate namaputubhyam means on whose tongue your name is dancing. That person is greater. And how uh, like all those who chant your name, they push, they already they become most respectable because they already performed, they have completed all austerities. Te pus tapaste and juhu sasnur means juhu means they performed all the sacrifices. Sasnur, they performed all the different bathing and Arya, they Brahmanuchu, they study of the Vedas, they have performed. So Nama Granantiyete. So those people who are taking your name, they already did all these things. So I have completed all austerities, all sacrifices, all waiting, and all study of the Vedas. So the name, even the name, it does not have to be fully on the tongue, and it need not be pronounced fully. So, like if it is just present on the tongue but not completely, only one name is chanted once, not many times, then also it can purify. If one, if they chant many of your names many times, then the effect will be much more. So he chants to please you. That means his goal in chanting is to not attain any other material goals, but to only goal is to for his chanting is to please you. Such a person who chants completely only to please you or bring you under control, that person is the best guru, Gariya. So because he has the intention to please the Lord, so he becomes qualified to teach the name to others. So that means he becomes like kind of guru. So then he becomes eligible to perform all these sacrifices. And one may say, then let them perform this sacrifice, study of the Vedas and austerities. So someone may ask, for that he's saying that they have already done all these things. So, and like they have performed all the austerities and sacrifices. So, and all the angas of the sacrifices and all austerities, they have completed everything. And they have bathed in all the holy places. So therefore, they are Arya, they are worshipable, worthy of respect. And they have completed all the study of the Vedas, Brahma, Anuchur. Means Brahma means basically Vedas, Anuchur means he recites along with Vedas and Angas. So in this way, means they have already performed because these are all mentioned in a past tense. So, but he is Grunanti, that means he is currently taking the name. So that is in the present tense. So they chant in the present tense, but they have completed all other actions previously only. So therefore they need not perform all these things, and they will not do in the future also. So in this way they will, why they are not doing now? Because they don't have qualification, because they don't want to do them. So because they want to perform the bhakti, they don't want to waste their energy in performing karma kanda activities. So they continuously chant, or their chanting is to please the Lord. So in this way, their effect of their chanting is that they want to chant more. They continuously chant. This basically they even one time they chant with the mood of pleasing the Lord. That itself will counteract all other contradictions. So in this way, the supreme glorification of the holy name came here, and Acharyas quote this verse many times. And there are other shlokas in Bhagavatam also where it says that even an outcast, if he simply hears once the holy name or once chant, the all the bondage, he will be immediately free of bondage by from all the karma. So basically, the such is the power of the holy name, and one cannot underestimate the power of the holy name. And it is, one should not think that this glorification of holy name given in scriptures is an exaggeration. So sometimes karma kanda results, they may be exaggerated, but the holy name, if someone thinks that holy name results are exaggerated, that is an kind of offense to the holy name. So therefore, all these results are manifested. We can see in the pastime of Ajamila, even though he is a sinner, he chanted the holy name and got delivered. So there are some examples to prove these statements. So in this way, the glory of bhakti and the name is mentioned by Devahuti, Mother Devahuti. So after mentioning that, finally he says that in this way I offer my respects to you, O Kapiladev, because you are Brahman, Tattvamaham, Brahma, Param, Pumamsam, and you are like You are object of meditation for the purified mind, and you destroy all the influence of the three modes by your power. You are Vishnu and repository of all the Vedas. So, Supreme Lord, I offer my obeisances. So, like that, she offers prayers to Kapila. So, Kapila was very much pleased. Out of affection, he started speaking that he said that by I have taught you this path of bhakti, which is very easy to perform. By following this, you will achieve the supreme goal of prema. In this way, you follow. Have faith in my instructions, and by following these truths, which it will award you fearlessness. And but those who don't understand this, they will attain death. Means janma mrityu jara. They will further flow. So therefore, follow faithfully these instructions. So like that, he again spoke. So in this way, Kapila, after instructing her, he took permission from Mother Devhuti, and he left. So Kapila Dev left from that place. Then he how Devhuti achieved perfection, that was mentioned. So whatever instructions Kapila Dev has given, she absorbed herself in bhakti, and she became engaged in that samadhi. So where in that hermitage, by she was her body became thin because of her severe austerities, and like in this way she performed. Previously, the Kardama's palace, it used to be very opulent. There in that palace, luxurious beds, couches, marble walls, beautiful gardens, flowers, trees, constantly singing Gandharvas. They all used to be there. Such a wonderful place Devhuti has all those opulences. But all those palaces, like buildings and all those opulences, did not give any solace to Mother Devhuti. So, because she was now developed Vatsalya Bhava to her son, so she was feeling the absence of her son. So she became she became aggrieved with the separation from her son, and it like just like a cow when she feels aggrieved when a calf is lost, like that she was completely suffering because of missing. Uh, Kapili Dev. So it is like a Vatsalya Rasa, like parental love for the Lord. So in this way, because she practiced bhakti, Kapili Dev previously in describing bhakti yoga, he mentioned especially that my devotees, they see me in different rasas. Aham Saka Putra, like that he mentioned one shloka, where Raganuga devotees, they treat the Lord as one of in relationship. So Mother Devahuti like completely developed that parental love for the Lord. So she she was like feeling that separation now. In this way, she was completely absorbed in the Supreme Lord. So therefore, she completely became detached from all the material opulences, and she was completely meditating, and that she was meditating on Kapila's form, beautiful form, thinking his son to be the Lord to be as his own her own son. In this way, she was. Um, she was thinking that I will practice some things, but she was some yoga or other thing, but continuously she could not at all forget the Lord. In this way, she meditated on uh, the form of the Lord. So by that meditation, by that strong bhakti, she developed strong renunciation and also knowledge of about the Lord, and her mind got completely purified. At that time, she was able to see the form of the Lord everywhere, pervading everywhere, without any, the Lord's form is without any material qualifications. In this way, her mind became completely fixed in the Lord, and all she attained the bliss, and all her suffering was removed. So, in this way, the she was completely absorbed in the Lord. So that was mentioned. And but this is internally she could understand all this greatness of the Lord. So these are all like she has attained bhava bhakti, prem bhakti. So therefore, she was like completely absorbed and externally, but she appeared like she forgot her body because she was continuously meditating on samadhi and the Lord. Externally, it seems that she did not remember her body, just like a person who, when he wakes up, he does not remember what happened in a dream. Similarly, Deha Smriti Nahi Ara, like that she did not have any remembrance of her body only. So in this way, she was forgot about her body, and completely. Although her maid servants were only taking care of her body, because she was not at all caring for her body. So in this way, he was completely absorbed in the Lord Vasudeva, and Lord only protected her body. So in this way, like she was absorbed in the Lord, and Lord is protecting her body. In this way, she was maintaining her external disposition. So finally, the by following that path of bhakti as taught by Kapilidev, she attained liberation. Liberation in the sense, in the attained the abode of the Lord. So the place where she attained, that place is called as Siddhapada. So that is the famous, like the most pure and famous. And her body, like it kind of became like a flowing river. So that is situated. So in this way, that is the best river that was mentioned, the Kapila Ashram, that's Siddhapada. So in this way, the activities of Devahuti was mentioned. And now the activities of Kapila is mentioned that Kapila, he went in a eastern direction. He took permission from his mother, and he went to first he went to north, and then he moved towards eastern side. So where there is some like in Ganga Sagar, somewhere Kapiladev is also said to be situated, where some pastime later also it was mentioned that while Ganga was coming meeting ocean, that time also there is a later on the ancestors of Bhagirath, they were burnt because they committed offense to Kapildev. So like that later on also on pastime will come. So he was residing there, and he was given a place by an ocean personified. One means ocean god gave that place. He was residing there, and he teaching Sankhya philosophy, and is always fixed in samadhi, and he is for the welfare of the three, for the welfare and peace of the whole world. He is situated there. In this way, Kapila, these activities are also mentioned. So in this way, the conversation between Kapila and Devahuti was told. And he says that whoever hears these teachings of Kapiladev, which teach about meditation on the Lord, or whoever teaches it, or whoever uh, meditate on the Lord's form, they will attain the Lord's lotus feet. In this way, the Falashruti of hearing Lord activities and teachings of Kapiladev that are mentioned. So this is how the third canto ends. So we start with fourth canto. So fourth canto we'll see overview. We are discussing the gradually the flow of Bhagavatam where Swayambhu, like Lord Vishnu, Karnodakshai Vishnu has created many universes, and in the universe, each universe, Garbhodakshai Vishnu has entered, and through his navel, Brahmaji has appeared, and Brahmaji started creation. He created so many living beings, and finally, he has created Manu, and Manu's lineage is being discussed. So, Swayambhu Manu has three daughters and two sons. Devahuti, Akuti, and Prasuti were the three daughters. Two sons, Uttanapada and Priyavrata. So basically, Bhagavatam narrates the story of these 5 personalities of Swayambhu Manu in third canto and fourth canto and fifth canto. The third canto, we have seen the activities of Mother Devahuti, where Lord Kapiladeva has appeared and his teachings we have seen. Other two daughters, Akuti and Prasuti, they will be discussed in the first chapter now. And in connection to that, the Leela of Daksha Yajna will be discussed. So these two daughters will be discussed in first 7 chapters. Then the next two sons, Uttanapada and Priyavrata, Uttanapada story and his descendants will be rest of the fourth canto. And Priyavrata, who is the eldest son, his sons and his rule and his son's rule will be narrated in the fifth canto. So that's how the Bhagavatam is like narrating the dynasty of Swayambhu Manu, one after the another. So in this chapter, the this this is one way of seeing, and another way is main cantos 3, 4, and 5. Generally, we see describe sarga. Some elements are describing about sarga in third canto, like how Lord created material elements, senses, etc. And Visarga means the subsequent creation by Brahma in third canto. Some chapters are mentioned. Swayambhu Manu and his descendants. And then how so this all Visarga, like descendants of Brahmadi, how they are populated, that is being described. And then Sthanam is the description of the universes, which will come in the fifth canto. So that's how this will progress. So now we will see the there is a in this chapter basically different different descendants of the different descendants of Swayambhu Manu that is being described. So the Swayambhu Manu, his wife is Shatarupa. She had 3 daughters, Akuti, Devhuti, and Prasuti. So now Devhuti is already discussed. Now she is describing about Akuti. So uh, Akuti was married to a person called Ruchi, and the Ruchi, through them, Akuti and Ruchi, 2 persons were born, Yajna and Dakshina. So Yajna, through Putrika Dharma means a father will give her daughter in marriage to some person on the condition that that son that was born will be handed over to that person, to the father. So in this way, the son which was born to Akuti and Ruchi, Yajna, was adopted by the father of Akuti, Swayambhu Manu, because Manu knows that Yajna, the person who will be born, will be the supreme lord. So therefore, she takes Yajna. And the other person is Dakshina, who is portion of Lakshmi. So she also appeared. She will be there with them, Ruchi and Akuti. So and in this way, the these two child were raised, and after some time they get like uh, they get married. So because here Dakshina is at an eternal consort of the Lord, so material rules will not apply. So they get married, and so in this way, uh, they were both Lakshmi and Narayana. They were they in this way they married, and then through them they produced 12 sons. They are called as Tushitas. So Tosha, Pratosha, so like that, their names were also given. Tosha, Pratosha, Santosha, like that. And then, so this basically they were these Tushitas, they will become the Devatas. So, in actually, in every Manvantara, there are 6 elements that are mentioned. Manvantram, Manur Deva, 6 elements in any Manvantara, they will be there. Manu, the Devatas, Manuputras, and the Sureshwaram is the Indra basically, and Rushaya, and then the incarnations of the Lord. So in the Swayambhu Manu time, these Tushitas became the Devatas. In that way, they were born. So now the descendants of Devahuti that was mentioned. So Devahuti and Kartama had 9 daughters. So these 9 daughters, as we remember, they were married to 9 sages who are born to Brahmaji. So the descendants of those 9 daughters, their marriages and their descendants were also mentioned. So in this way, their genealogy is explained. And in that connection, so Anasuya got married to Atri Muni. So that time he mentions that Atri, like Atri got the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva take birth in Atri's house. He asked why they took birth there. So then Maitreya, he answers that actually the Maitreya, this Atri Muni wanted to perform some sacrifice. Atri Muni want to attain some boons from the Lord. So therefore, he wanted the supreme, the son of the supreme person to be her. He wanted the son, he wanted a son who is the like supreme Lord as his son, but he doesn't know uh, a son equal to supreme Lord he wanted, but he doesn't know who is the supreme Lord. So therefore, he performed severe austerities and he was praying to the supreme Lord. So in this way, he was praying. So that time, he was like kind of chanting, kind of whoever is the supreme Lord, I am offer my obeisances to the Lord. Means whoever is the controller, basically he offers that. Who is controlling this universe? Jagadishwara. uh, I take shelter of him, and may he give me offspring equal to him. So that was his like prayer. So basically, he has like motivation praying that I want to a son equal to the Supreme Lord, and he doesn't know the who is the controller. So therefore, Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu, who are 3 controllers, they all appeared, and they when they appear, so he was little wonderful. He is wondering that he prays to them. He falls and at their feet and says that I prayed for one person, how come you 3 has come? So like that, he says, yeah, he petitions. I don't know whom I called among you whom I called. Like that, he asks. So that time they reply that you asked for who are the controllers. So we are all the controllers. So we are pleased with your tapasya. So they therefore we all 3 will take birth from you. So and we appear as some of the your sons. So in this way, like 3 sons were born to Atri through the portions of these Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So like through Brahma, the portion that was born is Soma, and through Vishnu, the portion that was born is Dattatreya. And then Shiva, the portion that was born through Atri and Anasuya is Durvasa. So these 3 are the 3 incarnations of the Lord, like 3 amshas basically, not incarnations. They became Atri's sons. In this way, that is mentioned. And so, in this way, this story of Atri has come, and along with all the uh, other daughters of Devahuti that were mentioned. So after 9 daughters that were mentioned, then there is one more daughter to Swayambhu Manu, so that is Prasuti. So Prasuti was married to Daksha, and through Prasuti and Daksha, 16 daughters were born. So out of these 16 daughters, first 13, they were all given in marriage to Dharma. So their daughters' names were also famous. So in this way, through Dharma, one of the wife is Murti. So through Dharma, through Murti, like the lords in the form of Naranarayan Rishis have appeared to this couple, Dharma and Murti. So when Naranarayan Rishis, when they appeared, everyone became very joyful and everyone became pleased. Everyone played so many musical instruments and they offered prayers that because now you have appeared in this house of Dharma, that it is your glory and you establish the path of Dharma through uh, in this world. So and in this way they praised Lord Narana Rishi, seeing the all auspicious saints. And then when they all offered, they went to Gandhamadana hill to perform their tapasya. So in this way, Naranarayan Rishi, they were born in this lineage only. So that is mentioned. So eh, these Naranarayan Rishis, they have entered when Krishna and Arjuna appeared. These because Naranarayan Rishi are also incarnations of Krishna and Arjuna. They have entered into Krishna and Arjuna when they have come to this world. This way, Naranarayan Rishi's appearance is mentioned. And then other daughter Swaha is married to Agni and they have 3 sons were born. And one more daughter Swada is offered to Pitrus and through them some 2 daughters were born. 16th daughter of Daksha was given in marriage to Shiva and that she was called as Sati. So, but he mentions that Sati did not produce any child. So that is because she became angry with her father and she gave up her body by before reaching maturity. So she on her own gave up her body. So like that, he mentions my Muni. So so hearing this question, he asked question here. Vidura inquired that why Daksha hated Shiva and why Sati gave up her body. So in this way, the Daksha episode starts. So where because he mentioned that Sati, she committed suicide not suicide, she gave up her body. So how is it took place? Why she became so much hateful for how Daksha became so much neglectful of Sati and show hatred to Lord Shiva. And Daksha is always affectionate to his daughter. So how can he neglect her daughter? So and Shiva is considered to be the guru for the whole world. So how can Daksha maintains enmity towards Lord Shiva? Because Shiva is always considered as peaceful, he is always satisfied in his own self, and he is also moreover he is the controller of the universe. So how can this enmity between father-in-law and son-in-law took place, by which Sati gave up her life? I want to understand. So like that he asked. So that's where the episode of Daksha is coming, which is narrated here. So once there was Daksha Yajna, this is the story. So one time, Daksha is a Prajapati, like he was perform all the devatas and sages. They are all performing one sacrifice where all the great devatas like Brahma, Shiva, and everyone they were all assembled there. So they were all assembled to perform a sacrifice. At that time, in that sacrifice, Daksha, when he entered, he looked like a sun with so much shining, and the like darkness in that assembly was kind of removed. Kind of in this way, he entered. So when he entered, everyone respected Daksha. So everyone stood up but only Brahma and Shiva did not get up. So, and here, if you consider in relation to Daksha, Brahmaji is like father of Daksha. So Daksha did not mind when Brahmaji did not get up. But in material relationship, Shiva is son-in-law of Daksha. So therefore, Shiva needs to respect Daksha. But he saw that Shiva did not get up. So he thought that he did not offer respects to me. So Daksha, seeing that, he went to his place and he sat down with Brahmaji's permission. And seeing that Shiva did not respected him by rising, she started speaking very harsh words to Shiva. So she started blaspheming Shiva, saying that here, first he started saying that, oh, so like, oh, assembled people, here the words that I am going to speak, I am speaking the conduct of the gentle, and I am not speaking out of ignorance or hatedness. So please hear my words. And then Shah started speaking that this Shiva is so this Shiva is like shameless, and he has destroyed the fame of all these protectors of the planets, because he has become very proud, and because of that he kind of he kind of polluted the path of the pious people. So in this way, he was like accusing. So whenever when in Bhagavatam, like whenever a person a person insulting the Supreme Lord or Supreme Lord, like a great controller like Shiva, there is a kind of a Saraswata Artha, means Saraswati Devi will not allow the person to blaspheme. So therefore, there are like indirect meanings, which one can interpret all these sentences to show that they were actually praising Shiva. So in this way, the indirect meanings are also given. So yeah. So Shiva is like nonetheless, Daksha is nonetheless, she criticizing Lord Shiva, seeing that this person, he is he is a devata, but he is bringing disfame to all the devatas. He has become so proud. Previously, he has accepted my daughter, therefore he has become subordinate to me. So, but now he forgot to respect me. So I deserve the honor, but he did not even respect me with even polite words. So he should rise and politely address me, but he is not doing that. So therefore, I don't know. I have she is worrying or condemning himself that I have given my daughter to this person who is so impure. He says that he does not perform any rituals, is always proud, and he always violate the rules of conduct. And it's like I had just like a, it's like I have acted something like I have given the message of Vedas to a Shudra, like that I have like this anyone who lacks qualification I kind of I gave, so unqualified persons I gave. So in this way, he condemns himself, and he says that this Shiva sometimes he roams naked, sometimes laughs, sometimes cries. Lives in some filthy places like crematorium, surrounded by ghosts and demons, and wanders in horrible places of the dead, crematorium ash, and uses the ashes as his bath, and he decorates himself with the garland of skulls and human bones. So like he's like inauspicious, but still he has the name of Shiva. So he's insane, and he's also leader of the all the insane people. So most ignorant. So like that he was blaspheming. But actually the real meanings like Saraswata meanings are also given. That actually some person who is mad after love for the Lord, He sometimes laugh and sometimes cry like a madman. So in this way, he is like madman in the sense of exalted Vaishnava. In some scriptures, it is mentioned that some exalted Vaishnavas, these are the characteristics they may apply, smearing ashes. So he makes everything auspicious. He is the leader of persons who are completely in ignorance. That means he remove even ignorance even from the like so lowly people. So that is his mercy. So in this way, indirect meanings are also given, glorifying Lord Shiva. So he continues to say that this Prajapati Parameshtina, actually I don't want to give my daughter to him, but like this Parameshti, he has forced me to give my daughter. She is not even addressing Brahma as his father. He's saying that he's Parameshti. That means he has hated even for Brahmaji also. He's saying that Brahmaji is also unintelligent. He did not understand my this thing. So I don't want to give her to Shiva, but Brahmaji has given this. He is saying that like Daksha is considering himself as more greater than even Brahmaji also. So in this way, he is like exhibiting his pride, and uh, she because this Shiva is impure, yeah, but still Brahmaji has asked, I have given. So therefore, in this way, he condemned. So therefore, after criticizing, he says that uh, finally, out of very anger, she he started cursing Shiva in angry. So therefore, he says that Shiva should not receive a portion of the sacrifice in this assembly. And like generally, devatas when they perform sacrifice, different devatas they receive different portions of the sacrifice. So she's saying that the Shiva should not get any portion in when someone performs sacrifice. So in this way, he cursed, and then even the other members of the assembly they were stopping Daksha to go, but still Daksha became so angry, but he released this curse and left that place and returned to his house. So in this way, Daksha became very angry towards Shiva. So then, hearing that, Nandishwara, who is the principal associate of Shiva, understanding that Daksha has insulted Shiva and cursed, he became very angry and he started speaking that uh, because Daksha cursed him, he showed his anger towards all the Brahmanas and all the Brahmanas who had tolerated that Daksha cursing Shiva. So he started saying that whoever is identifying with their mortal body and who is offending Shiva, they will become a fool and they will reject the Supreme Lord. They will become like heretics, kind of become like heretics means basically atheists who doesn't follow the path of Vedas. So they reject the path of the Supreme Lord and they see in terms of different bodies. The person who is only attached to karma kanda, who is with a desire to enjoy in this material world, his intelligence is already lost in the misleading words of the Vedas and they absorbed in karma kanda. So therefore, let Daksha, who has already forgotten his spiritual goal, let him become like a goat, like because his intelligence became like a uh, intelligence of an animal, let him have a head of a goat. So like that he considers because his intelligence got corrupted and because because he takes that he has this karma it creates again and again the path of ignorance different bodies, so therefore he will take repeated birth and death. Where is insulting Shiva, they can take repeated birth and death in this world. And let whoever is hating Shiva, who are agitated, so they will deviate from the path of the Vedas and they will completely become attached to karma. So And these brahmanas who eat anything because of these material attachments, who have taken the vows only to maintain their body. So let them wander in this world as beggars. So in this way, he was like kind of directing his curses towards Daksha as well as the Brahmanas who supported Daksha. So hearing that, Bhrigu, who is a Brahmana, there assembled in the side of Daksha, he uh, he becomes angry and he like, started counter cursing the followers of Shiva. So he says that those people, whoever following this want to satisfy Lord Shiva, let them become heretics, and they may they will become obstacles to the new scriptures. They were like unclean, foolish. They were wearing matted locks, and they become they many these people worship. They always intoxicated, something like that, and something like taking intoxication, something. So in this way, you are criticizing the path of Vedas and Brahmanas. So therefore, you move into that atheistic path kind of thing. So this path of Vedas are generally followed by mm, the devotees of Janardana, this eternal path for the humanity. But since now you are criticizing this path of Vedas, you will become heretics. So in this way, he also counter cursed. So when Shiva heard all these things, and when she heard that even Janardana, his Lord, name is also came, he was afraid that maybe others may start offending even Lord Janardana also. Understanding that anger is creating more anger, he immediately left that place so that it will become cool. So in this way, Shiva did not react to that whole situation, but silently walked out from that place. After that, the creators of that sacrifice, they conducted that sacrifice and for 1,000 years. In this way, Daksha insulted Shiva and Shiva left that place. So later on, the Sati and Shiva, they had some discussion about the one more sacrifice when Daksha wanted to, Sati wanted to go. That time they had discussion. That time Sati goes to that sacrifice and there is a conversation and she gives up her life in that sacrifice. So we'll discuss that in the next time. So I'll stop here.
Thank you, Prabhu. Now the next chapter will start. Next skanda will start. Fourth.
Fourth, yeah, fourth is already started. We'll continue with the Daksha episode.
Okay. With Daksha episode, it is fourth canto started.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.